Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video, doing JMA Friday for today's second video. So, as always on a Friday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFS tomorrows. And I should get time for that for you in a moment, just say that first. Video today was our 6-7 UK weather forecast. And we've got a 10 to 14 day with all of the regular features coming up for you later on this afternoon as well. So please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, let's start off with the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly flow chart from the Arctic and North Pole view down then. So, from the JMA as well. So, of course, this is the North Pole to see. Got wider Arctic circle around there, and then got mid-latitudes through here, roughly. So, blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red to above average heights, which is high pressure. So, these will break down into week periods, of course. The first weekly period will take us from today, the 22nd, through to the 29th of March. So the next week is looking unsettled, with low pressure dominating across the Atlantic and into Western Europe as well, gesturing down here somewhere. So a very unsettled week to come with lots of rain on the way. Week 2 will be the 29th of March to the 5th of April, again bringing in low pressure from off the Atlantic into the west of Europe. There's a little bit of blocking up to the north as well, but the main thing going to be low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic. So looking very unsettled there through the end of March into the beginning of April. And then weeks 3 and 4 will be the 5th through to the 19th of April, with high pressure blocking up towards Greenland. Low pressure is to the south of it. So with time, it looks like high pressure is beginning to start taking over and blocking off the Atlantic, pulling the wind into more of an easterly direction, maybe. So gradually becoming a little bit drier as April progresses, although not necessarily overly warm. I think the easterly is likely to be more north of these, if you get what I mean, rather than south of these with that. So it could be drier, but also a little bit on the chilly side as well. So this is the tropical and mid-latitude view. Can't see Greenland, Arctic, Scandinavia. All those areas are off the chart up here. But a reminder of the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly. You can eye in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it, of course. So week 1, very unsettled, deep low pressure across western parts of Europe. It's also a cooler than average week as well in the week ahead, so temperature anometers slightly below average, and it is also wetter than normal as well. So generally, we're looking at a cool but quite wet week to start us off. Week 2 is going to be the 29th of March to the 5th of April, still with low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic. Temperature anomalies are average to slightly above, especially so for England and Wales. And it's still wetter than average as well, so another wet week to come into the beginning of March, albeit the temperature anomaly is lifting up a little bit. And then weeks 3 and 4 builds higher pressure away to the north with lower pressure out to west. That could start to bring the wind in from more of an easterly direction. But temperature anomaly is average to slightly above once again. Precipitation wise, well, it's still slightly wetter than average actually. I thought it might be drying out now, but still slightly above average rainfall. Again, particularly so for England and Wales. So also very unsettled 4 weeks to come, doesn't it? Maybe gradually transitioning to something dry. Remember, it's a 2 weekly anomaly, so it could be something like week 3 still very wet, week 4 is drier. Something like that could be at play there. Right, so let's see how the CFS B2 compares. So again, these are 500 millibar height anomaly breaking down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 22nd to 28th of March. Next week is looking unsettled with low pressure across western parts of Europe. Week 2 will be the 29th of March to the 4th of April. Low pressure's out to the west, high pressure is to the east, and we're drawing up a southerly wind. So unsettled but mild there in the second week. Week 3 will be the 5th through to the 11th of April, and no, sorry everybody, we find higher pressure up to our north, but also reaching into western parts of Europe as well, so drier and milder there. And then week 4 will be the 12th to the 18th of April, with high pressure again away to the north, low pressure is to the south, and winds coming in from an easterly direction with that. In fact, could be a little bit north of these, so might be turning more unsettled in the south actually. So it looks like the 3rd week might be the week much drier, and then back to something more unsettled maybe in the 4th week. Temperature anomalies for week 1, which is the 22nd, 28th of March, is we call an average just to our west, but mild average to the far south. Otherwise, not a particularly big deviation though, so near normal temperatures for week 1. Week 2 goes milder though. This is when the wind turns into the south. It's the 29th of March to the 4th of April, which is slightly above average temperatures then. So week 3 is going to be the 5th through to the 11th of April, again with rather above average temperatures, and week 4 also slightly above average temperature anomalies, so up to the 18th of April, a little bit above. And then finally, precipitation week 1 is the 22nd of March to 28th, again a little bit wetter than normal, especially to the north and the west. Week 2 is very wet though. This is the 29th of March to the 4th of April, with significantly above average rainfall. Week 3 shows no particular signal. So sorry once again, everybody. And then finally, week 4, again, no particular signal. As we're going further out, the signal is weakening as ever for precipitation. Right, so that's how it's looking. Bit of a mixed bag, but I think it seems like we're going to be in for a relatively coolish week to start us off. Then we're back to above average temperatures and pretty unsettled weather as well into early April. So it looks like it stays rather unsettled, rather wet into the beginning of April. Where we go from there later on in the month remains to be seen. But certainly early April is looking quite unsettled, but also relatively mild as well. Maybe just a snapshot of what these two models are showing, so they could look completely different when we look at them again next week. You'll find out tomorrow how the ECM WF42 day model is comparing with all of this as well. So that's coming up tomorrow. But for JMA Friday for this week, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.